Things Live TV. Ladies and gentlemen, ngise Kaslama Kas, ngise Gomora. Maboneng, Kaslizinje, Kaslama last number. Namhlanje it's All Things Success. I've got the first citizen, Yala Alexandra, Linda Twala, a philanthropist, an entrepreneur, struggle icon, internationally renowned icon, ladies and gentlemen, right here, Alexandra. Mkhulu Twala kunjani?
Siphilile ndodana.
Siyabonga mkhulu. Ngisacela nje usichaze mkhulu. Let the world know who you are, what do you do, ngoba ngichaze ngamagama amakhulu lana ukuthi you are an icon. So ngicela nje usichaze mkhulu Twala ukuthi ubani, wenzani, ukuthi why sithi you are an icon.
I'm Linda Twala. I was born and brought up in Alexandra 77 years back. And the work that I do, I would say I don't regard myself as a leader or somebody who does better things, but I regard myself as a servant.
Okay.
God's children.
Okay.
And the place that started it all, it's at the Roman Catholic Church. This is the church that you see here.
Okay, that's at First Avenue.
Yeah, that's
Alexandra, ne?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those years, my mother used to give food to the poor.
Yes.
There was an old lady by the name of Rosie Shabalala.
Okay.
She always came here asking for food or whatever. My mother would give her. So whenever she looks at me, she would point at me with a stick. At when you're going to bury me.
Okay.
When she died, that very evening I could not sleep. Yeah, according to our custom, she came in a dream and said, "Son, I have passed on." And when I told my mother in the morning and my dad about that dream, my father said, "And so what?
Sure.
The government is there to bury, and so why are you worried?" Then I just kept quiet, but I had that thing that I'd like to bury her. I then spoke to my mother, spoke to POS Sbego, because I used to do part-time jobs there before I opened up my funeral undertaker.
Okay.
And I begged him that, please, let's fetch this old lady. I may not have enough money, but I'd like to bury her. We fetched her from the government mortuary, and I did exactly what she wanted me to do. And Father Doherty of the Roman Catholic Church,
Okay.
he also came to my rescue, saying that even if she was not a church-going member, for what you did, would like to have her they also contributed by sending their taxis to come and assist me. I was good at carpentry. I was going to make her a coffin out of wood. But because of some contributions, I ended up buying her a new coffin. Then, what happened was, in the church, the day when she was going to be buried, there were so many people in the church. And my father came in. I thought my father was coming to wallop me or to hit me. Instead, he came and extended his hand and shook a hand to me and said, "Well done, my son.
Yeah.
Do the same with me." From that day, that is why I say the place that started it all. From that day onwards, it was fireworks.
Sure.
I continued doing that all the years as I am celebrating more than 50 years serving God's children. I always vowed that whoever comes to our organization, that was now before my house was bombed by police. I was not popular amongst our guys in the ANC because they were saying, I'm feeding people who are from Zululand, Ikaza. That's what they used to call them.
Okay.
And what I said to them, when somebody comes into that gate, if somebody wants food, my duty is to give him food.
Okay.
If he wants clothes, my duty is to give him clothes and nothing more. And I even went up to an extent of saying, all the old ladies that I look after, most of them are coming from different church denominations, and they have given birth to children who belong to different church political organizations. Then, you know, there was that thing of saying I was siding with them. Others were saying I'm siding with Xhosas.
Okay.
You know, there was just a lot that time. And I continued because I said I believe in one thing, that nothing can do a good thing down. Even when there were manifestos, I always made sure that I addressed them by saying, in this hall that is at my place, or maybe let me start by saying, when it was bombed by police, less did I know that amongst us, there were people who were going around with us as if they were comrades, and yet they were government informers. Whatever we did, giving people food during the day, in the evening, we were holding illegal meetings. They would go to the police force or the security guys to tell them that this is what is happening at Twala's place.
So
yeah, they were government informers.
Okay.
So that is how my house was bombed by police. Some are dead, some are still alive, but I said in everything that I do, let there be room for forgiveness.
Wow.
Because I still believe that Mandela taught us, and Desmond Tutu, that let there be a rainbow color.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, it will take long if I explain what this old lady did for me, because I had to give her a tombstone.
Yeah.
Because when my house was in fact, after I buried her, after two weeks, she came in a dream riding a horse. It was 7.
Okay.
Going that way, and back it was 8. When I talked to my friends, you know, where we were working, they said, Zalum Shaina. I then played Fafi. They called it Fafi. Well, it was 50 rands that time.
Okay.
But somebody said, no, you're supposed to go and bet horses. I then said, I don't know where to go. And this guy said, please borrow me some money. Give me some money. I gave him money and the numbers. And when I was going to go out with him, you know, to go and bet the numbers, I said to my bosses, I have a problem. I'm not feeling well. I want to go to the doctor. They said, before you go to the doctor, just go to the post office. It was here in Perfley. Remember those years. I came to the post office to come and take the post, and when I got back, he was gone. And he was lucky because he used my numbers, he used my money, and
Okay.
and opened up a business, a very big business, a supermarket, bought himself a car, a slasher then. And the brothers who were working with us, they said, no, this man, it was not his money, it was not his numbers, he's robbed somebody.
Hey.
But he made a big mistake when his car overturned, gutted down by fire, and his business at that time, when he went to the Inyangas, you know, the witch doctors,
Okay.
he said, not unless you go to that person and ask for forgiveness. He's just a man of God. He won't even bother about everything. But he believed to those that said, if you can just get rid of this man, nothing will ever come right for you. They then came here, those guys, looking for me. When they came here, I wasn't around. My mother, during those days, bekusindwa phansi.
Okay.
And kuvalwa ngalama gate lawana. I then came in. My mother said, there are guys who are looking for you in the house. I told them that you are at work. They said they would wait for you. When I got in, they all stood up. and said, "Are you Linda Twala?" I said, "I am Linda Twala." And they had to put their guns on the table, money on the table. They just went out. I followed them to the gate and asked, "What is happening? Please tell me what is happening." Well, they told me. I said, "Please take the money." But my mother was shocked when she came into the house to see that these guys had come to assassinate me. It was big shock. So that led to me giving a tombstone, putting up a tombstone for her. It did not end there. When my house was to be bombed by police, again, I saw in my dream saying that don't go to your home. There are people there who are going to bomb your house. But I'll explain that some other time because there are too many things that happened.
Sure.
But that is how I survived.
Wow.
My house was bombed by police, and again, before it was bombed by police, there were people who were from another organization, an organization which was at loggerheads with the ANC. I was the one who made peace among those people. They also came. They were sent by police. They were buying people, to kill people that time. They also came, and when I saw them in that dream, when I came in, my Rosie Shabalala showed me red shoes, that you'll see people who are wearing red shoes at your place. And please make sure that you must be aware those people have come to kill you. I went to the toilet, I saw those shoes. I went to the house and went to a window. I peeped outside. I could see that they were pointing at each other because I used to let people use my garage because it was a double garage, as a church for them.
Okay.
And so they were wearing those church regalias. And when I came out, I was just brave enough to go to them and say to them, "You're surrounded by guns. I'd like to usher you out because if not so, I wouldn't like to see blood here."
Ish.
I escorted them to the gate. There was another to the gate. They said, "That is Twala, are you living?" They said, "Make no mistake, guns are pointing at us." And I crossed the road to Lamini's place. One of the young chaps who died at my gate when he was killed, his name was Vusislam. I then came back just to show them that I was not afraid. But those are some of the things that happened to me. But in 1976, that is why I always say I'd like to see, this church being, not the church itself, but being remembered that that's where ANC meetings were being held at that time. And again, I don't know, you're not asking questions. My grandfather, the gentleman you see here, you take pictures.
Yeah.
John Imbanjo. He was the first to live in Alex.
Okay.
His father to my mother. He was the first to live in Alex in 1903, 1912, when Alexandra was declared a black area.
Yes.
Because whites did not want it. It was too far away. It was a farm. It was too far away, Johannesburg.
Yes.
They then started giving it to blacks, and he happened to be the first to live in Alexandra. And they asked my grandparents, which name can we use? And they said, "Please, you use your wife's name." She was Lady Alexandra. Hence it was called Alexandra.
Okay, khona lapho mkhulu. The reason why I'm not asking too many questions, ngibona ngathi you just flowing kahle kahle uyazikhulumela kamnandi mkhulu. So mina ngifuna ukuthi wonke umuntu olalele to just understand history yakho ngakuphazamisi. But I'll come in there because a lot of people abazi history yase Alexandra mkhulu ukuthi bekuyini. You hear some stories about bekuyifarm, bekuyindawo lebhunu and all sorts of things. So ngicela ukuchazela abantu ukuthi what's the history of Alexandra? You're talking about how your father was the first to stay. So lapha Alex Mall there's pictures and stories ukuthi kahle kahle who lived in Alex, who are the legends, the icons from Alex, and what happened for Alex to become what it is today. So, ngicela nje uyichaze from lapho mkhulu ukuthi how did Alex start? Who were the first citizens? And yeah, what happened?
The first citizen was this gentleman.
Okay. Okay.
He had 3 wives.
Okay.
11 children.
That's Mbandra, by the way.
John Mbandra.
Okay.
Yeah, he was born in 1878.
Yes.
And died in 1944.
Okay, cool.
And he was the first to live in Alex.
Wow.
In fact, where he stayed, it was the station for milk. They used to change donkey carts going to Johannesburg, back from Johannesburg, change donkey carts going to his farm in Midrand.
Okay.
At Mr. Papanfus's place. I've been there, I've taken some people there to see where Mr. Papanfus lived, because the street there was named after Mr. Papanfus. And of course another street was named after Lady Alexandra. Now for it to be called Alexandra, let me say Vasco da Gama, Roosevelt, London, Selborne, Hofmeyer. Those were the lawyers of Mr. Papanfus.
Oh,
who were selling properties.
Wow! So late Ratanes, the main roads, as Alex, they are named after the lawyers of that
they were
man.
selling properties.
Oh, okay.
They were the lawyers of Mr. Papanfus.
Okay.
Yeah, and that time there are still many people. Alexandra is mother of all the continents.
And all the townships.
Mother of all the townships. Everybody who came to Johannesburg
started in Alex. Yes.
You can name them. Maponya himself.
The late Dr. Richard Maponya.
Yeah, he was also from Alex.
He came from Alex?
Yes. And
okay.
All the others, the musicians.
Dr. Ivan Koza.
Well, those are still young ones.
Okay.
They all come from Alex.
Okay.
I'm talking about the elderly people. Yeah, Samora Machel was from Alex.
Samora Machel?
Yes.
Oh, I'm cool.
Samora Machel was from Alex before he went to the bushes.
Okay.
To fight for their freedom.
Okay.
He was from Alex.
How?
Yeah, he came here as a domestic worker.
Wow.
But when they went to fight for their freedom through Frelimo, he was from Alexandra. His house is still there. It's a heritage site.
Okay.
And Mandela also came to Alex. Even though I'm not happy, I'm a bit saddened to see that people like Richard Branson and name them, Oprah Winfrey, have taken them to Mandela's house.
Wow.
But most of the people around here, they don't know that there are prominent people who came to Alex, and I showed them Mandela's house.
Yes.
And they only know Alex by passing on the highway, looking at it as a scrapyard.
Scrapyard, yeah.
As a
dump site.
Not only a dump site, a cemetery of British cars, because there was somebody who was named, his name was Shezi. He used to have these little mini cars. So he was dealing with those cars. So they looked at it as a cemetery of British cars. So they never came into Alex. But now it is for us to let our children know that this is where we come from. If you look at the pictures of the house that I was born in, this house was built by us, thanking our mother, that through that bread, which when we fetch her from Pan Africa, when she came home, that bread with jam, that's how we grew up. We never used to wear shoes.
Okay.
And I would even go a long way to say, in 1975, when Santin was started, that's part of Alex. And Frankenwald going down that way, that originally that's part of Alex. But now that the Centennians have taken over, we used to swim there, and up until now there are shacks there. There are people that I always help in, they call it in his farm, but we called it Zanfontein. That's where we used to swim when we were still boys. Yeah, together with the late the president of course that time.
Okay.
Now, There's so much to be told about, Alex. I haven't told you about the civil guards. People who used to look after our township. We used to know each other from 1st Avenue to 22nd.
22nd, yeah.
Nobody would mug you.
Yo,
During our times, during our times, no child would smoke in the street.
Sure.
Or grab a lady and say, "Oh, see a virgin."
Yeah, baby was that.
We're good in Africans. We are not educated, but I'm so proud to say we've produced graduates.
Yes, I now ngendlela okukhuluma ngakhona mkhulu.
And we know that our children are educated, even though I sometimes miss the point because we say we are educated and we are free because we no longer carry dumb passes. But I still say we're not yet free until we get what belongeth to us.
And what is that?
Land. And we need to create jobs. We need to be job creators. And we need to make sure that we take care of our elderly.
Yes.
The elderly folks you see there, when I take them to Robben Island to see where their leaders were imprisoned, it's another way of saying to them, thank you.
Yeah.
For being there for the ruling party in 1954, 1956. They were the ones that strengthened the ANC then.
Sure.
I always say it was another way of taking them there, not just because we wanted them to be in a flight, but to recognize them. Today, they are a forgotten generation. Some have passed on. Now, I'm saying this because 28 years down the line, we're still living in shacks. I cater for unmarried mothers, the unemployable, disabled persons, the elderly, and those that are mentally challenged, and of course, those that are from jail, if I may call them parolees. I was playing, I used to play films in schools and in local prison.
Oh, so you were an actor before, Mkulu?
Not an actor.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to work with Cause FM.
Okay.
Giving those people, laptops.
Okay.
Computers, so that they should at least expand their knowledge.
Okay, yeah. Mkulu, so you spoke about the 50s, nan kona like Alex. I once read and I was told, ngendaba yabomsomi gang, nama spoiler. What was going on in Alex? Because but begne violence ening lana Alex bengapilegi when those two gangs used to fight nan like Alex. So what was happening that time and who were those people? Umsomi gang nama spoiler.
Yeah, that is why I said there's so much that I cannot even relate to you because some of these things I'll forget. But when you talk about the Msomi gangs, it started in Natal in Durban. There was somebody who was Msomi, was killing people there.
Okay.
That's how the name came about, to have Msomi gangs and to have spoilers. The boss of the Msomi gang stayed here at 2nd Avenue.
Oh.
But because they grew up with my family, when I say my family, Bukan, Banjwa, and Dot, and all the others, they used to call us the Banjwa gang. They never played here. The only people that took a chance are the spoilers.
Okay.
When they took my cousin's girlfriend, who has passed away.
Okay.
And Bukan has also passed away. They took her by force when we were from King's Cinema.
It's again.
Yeah.
Yes.
But their combi was damaged here, and those were the days. And you wouldn't just move around, Alex. They used to collect rent from some of the people who own properties. And they had offices at 12th Avenue. Okay. Yeah, and it's a pity now. I have some papers there here which I would show you some other time. And they had an office, and the other one was staying at 6th Avenue. So that was the boss of the spoilers.
Okay.
And the Msomi gangs were at 12th Avenue. And again, there were AmaCPZ, there were other gangsters whenever we went to church, I remember the Piliso family, some of the old families in Alexandra. You wouldn't go to church like at 12th Avenue at Lutheran Church because it would stop you. That time I used to gym. I remember when I was stopped at 17th Avenue and the other gang, this gang came to me and said, I'll take you in a fat. I'll take you because I was a bit huge that time. Yeah, I used to gym that time. And they did wonders, you know. And I never forget, but I have forgiven them because after we were now free, we used to meet and discuss these things. So that's how some of them were sentenced to jail, some of them were given a death sentence. But again, there's so much that I would relate about Alexandra. I grew up here. I never lived in any other place.
Sure.
I was born and brought up here. And my only wish now, whilst we have taken the pattern from Mandela and we ran with it, I'd like to see ourselves getting land.
Land.
That is my biggest concern.
And why is it important to you, Nkululinda Twala, ukuthi we get land?
Why is it important to me? It is because we are now more than 1 million in a square mile. Whereas Alexandra was meant for 60,000 families.
Sure.
And today, to more than 1 million in a square mile, it's a shack on top of another. Let me make an example of Limbro Park.
Okay.
When we were fighting for Limbro Park some years back, I was among those, and the young chaps that time were Thabo Mupasi, who were with us, because they were refusing with that piece of land. I said to them, you prefer to live with your donkeys and cows rather than living with us. Here we were just trying to create a rainbow color so that we should stay with each other harmoniously in our country. Now, it didn't go well into their minds. But again, we had comrades who used to go there. I don't know what were they doing, but I used to receive phone calls that just forget about Limbro Park. It has been taken over by some other people. Now there is a Muslim state in Limbro Park.
Okay.
And there's Frankenwald.
Okay.
We want Frankenwald. We've got graves there. Some of our relatives were from the farms, you know, nearby Midrand. We wanted that piece of land, and it belonged to university. Now, as we were making noise, we were invited some years back, to attend a meeting. I attended that meeting. Montum Banjwa was with me, and some others were with me, where we said, please come and see the living conditions in Alex. We'd like to expand. Well, they were thinking that we want to build shacks. And I said to them, we want to build affordable homes. Because when I went overseas in 1987, that's where I was taught how to build these houses through Habitat for Humanity.
Okay.
And the forums that we have, I would say the RDP houses, nothing can match our houses that were built by us.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Our houses are stronger than the RDP homes.
Of now.
Now, they refused, and they demanded millions. And I said, we haven't got those millions. Now, I was in the verge of taking our senior citizens with passes, going there, because if we take you guys as young as you are, because you're radical, they will start shooting at you, shooting rubber bullets and all that. Now, as senior citizens, I intended taking them there. They should hold placards of saying, we thought we were free. And you, as our youth, you can be giving them tea and food and whatever, so that they should see that the people who are talking for themselves are the senior citizens. And as time went on, we were told that they want to put up market. I wrote a letter, which I have, and I was against what they wanted to do because they want subsidy, subsidy. If you haven't got a subsidy, you cannot get a house. I said, no, that's wrong. The people that I deal with in Alexandra, the cream of Alex has moved out of Alex.
Yeah.
We remained with the poor of the poorest. Where must they stay? Because they need houses. You cannot take somebody like this young chap here, somebody who is 30 years old, who cannot even fend for himself, and throw him in the street. It means you'll never have shacks all the time. But because I know they were what's in it for me, they wanted to put up market. I said, no, we need affordable homes. And even now I still say we need affordable homes. It is not our fault that we inherited a sinking ship from the previous government. We are supposed to be in the leadership of demanding what belongeth to us.
Okay.
If you were to get Steve Biko, Mandela, Sobukwe, and others, they would never agree with what is happening now. There are so many factions who are against each other, we have so many parties, but we seem to have forgotten where we come from. All we need, let us live in our country together. If I want to live in Sentin, let us live in Sentin. Let us retire, let our senior citizens retire in style. Like, for instance, I was gunning down for a retirement village in Highlands North, which was taken over by other people. Because I said, for what they did, if they want to retire, let them retire in style and show the world. And let's show the world that we are who we are today because of our senior citizens. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been where we are today were it not for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm just extremely disappointed because I see so many people, so many children are so educated, graduates. I have also graduates here, but it seems to me there's something wrong somewhere. I always say I'd like to see JJ Taban so that he must also come to our rescue.
Okay.
Yeah, we need his help. We need them more than ever before.
Why ukhuluma ngegama lika JJ Taban mkhulu? Is he from Alex or is he someone
no,
you know
from
or
Alex, but his programs.
Okay, yes. Power to truth.
Yeah, power to truth. I always look at his programs. I never miss them.
Yeah.
I never miss them.
Controversial though.
I never miss them, and I always say if I am not educated, here are our children. They are educated.
Okay.
Yeah, and it seems to me they're only educated. That is why right now, just to divert you a bit, we want our children to drive aeroplanes.
Okay.
We want them to
be pilots.
To be pilots, not air hostesses.
Okay.
Now, I have a project of an adopted child, whereby every year we take these children with a helicopter to give them a helicopter ride. It is another way of showing these children that in Ghana we have pilots, we have children, guys that are fixing aeroplanes, they are flying them. Why can't it be done here? The highways that you see here, they are being built by people from outside. When are we going to start doing these things instead of running, chasing liquor and hubbly-bubbly all the way? Because now we are destroying ourselves.
Yeah.
That time, I haven't shown you some pictures that they used to do to us at Albert Street.
Yes.
But I'm worried about our youth today. But when we pass on, because we are on our way out, what is going to happen in this country? Are we ever going to roll? No.
Sure, I'm cool.
Maybe. By God's grace we will. Because when we grow up, as I said earlier, you'd never dare smoke. You'd never be in the street during school hours. You'd make sure that we take you to the stadium there and be walloped. and things that I see today, children fighting in schools, stabbing teachers. Those are things that never happened.
Okay.
And I know why they happened. It's because during our times, we used to burn these, what do they call them, mama, beer halls.
Okay.
Yeah, because we discovered that in order to get rid of labantu, let's open up liquor.
Liquor, yes,
If
exactly.
you were to see some pictures on our walls, you'll see where my mother used to hide liquor in the ground those years.
Yeah.
That is why there's so much that I can talk about Alex, where they used to hide liquor and ground that time. You'd only take a sip, not that you just sit and sing.
Drink.
No, never do that. Even when we organized meetings, we used to fill up that stadium. Going up, there were matches where I'm with Dr. Alan Pusak and all the others, marching to the police station, demanding, our rights and all that. You'd never stay at home and drink liquor, and yet we are on the march.
Sure.
All of you.
Yeah, no, mkhulu Twala, there's so much to talk about, Alex. Unfortunately, time ngoba ngiyazi mkhulu, you are always busy. Namanje ngukuthola nje so sendleleni yophuma uyolanda izinkwa for abogogo. But I just want to ask you a question, mkhulu. Ngicela uyiphendule as honestly as you can. Some people ask ukuthi, why did the likes of Abo Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe leave the ANC if it is such a good and powerful organization? I mean, it's more than 112 years, I think. Manje. So if such men left the ANC and the ANC is such a good party, why do you think Nabo Bantu Piko, Stephen Bantu Piko, they had their own things during that time and decided, no, this ANC, it might not be good for us. So Robert Sobukwe never vula EPAC.
I said earlier, if you were to, if umuntu yavuswe to uqale ngabo Mandela, abo Sobukwe, abo Steve Biko, they would not allow what is happening here today.
Okay.
Yeah, the problem is we have, I don't know whether shall I call it about what's in it for me.
Yeah.
In England, in America, you won't find more than 10 parties. Why are we having so many parties? It is because when people see mistakes, they start their own parties with the hope that they want to do the right things. And on this is going on. And let me say I'm extremely disappointed because I may be green and cold at heart.
Meaning you are an ANC person?
Yes, I am, but now, as I said to you, I was born to serve. Whether you're from PAC, ASAPO, ANC, EFF, my duty is to give you food. If you want food, if you want a house, if you want clothing, I am there for you.
Okay.
That is why I said when we have manifestos, they would never fight at my place.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand, this is a very, very, very busy man. So even namanje, guys, I just found Mkhulu Twala on his way to deliver bread. So Bosasho Mkhulu Guti, you would never find people just leaving maybe party, but they would speak and maybe try to find a solution. So manje Mkhulu, you saying
that are leaving, those that want to have their own parties, it is not because they think they are better than Mandela, but they think that the people that are in leadership now, maybe they are at fault. But in reality, that is why I'm saying if you were to get Mandela, Steve Biko, Chris Hani, some of these things wouldn't have been happening now. But now that, they are happening, what we need to do, I always say, when my house was bombed by police, I learned something from Desmond Tutu. When he said, Mandela says, let there be no bloodshed in our country. I then said, I am going to forgive, but I'll never forget the past.
I agree.
That's when we hugged each other.
I agree.
That photo was also trending.
Okay.
And again,
it was trending.
I happened to be fortunate to have met, the kings like Kingsville who used to come here.
Yes, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, all the photos that Mkhulu Twala is talking about, you will see them on this video. We're going to take photos of all, because I'm around his house. Yeah, I'm actually at his house. So I'm seeing photos of him with the late great Babu Nelson Mandela. I'm seeing the likes of Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen Elizabeth as well. We're also seeing photos of royalty with him being with Kingsville. So all those photos, ladies and gentlemen, you will see them as part of the video. Mkhulu, because of time, I would like to know, yinto eyakenza ukuthi uqale iTwala Africa Funerals. A lot of people mhlambe bakwazela from lapho ukuthi you are a business person. You started Leo Funeral Parlor. Can you just give us the insight?
Twala Africa, I was the first black to be awarded a contract of cleaning Alexandra.
The first black?
Yes.
Yes. And when was this?
That was in 1986.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, 1984.
Okay.
And the reason being, I used to do cleanup campaigns in the township, doing recycling. If I were to show you the photos of Zibiken, if a school comes out number one, by bringing more bottles, more plastic and cardboard, they would win a prize. That's what I used to do, which led to the previous government giving me a contract of cleaning Alex, though they wanted me to be under Westec, and I refused. I said I need to be with my black brothers. That was Mulema and Arthur Magaman. I said we can also do these things without Westec. And I really started, and we cleaned Alexandra, and that's where I got more power by helping the needy from Alexandra through Alexandra refuse removals. But as time went on, that contract was taken away from me because I did not toe the line. I refused. I said, if I must pay bribes for my rights, I've been burying so many people, I've done so much for Alex, so be it, you can take it. Then that tender was taken away from me.
Sure.
The ones of the cemetery, I was the one who started it, where we employed 20 women. They used to clean the Alexandra cemetery. There were 20 of them. They were getting 28,000 a month. And as time went on, in Abong Khokotona, the late Abu Makwibiri, they used to rally behind me, making sure that today you can't even go to our cemetery. You will find condoms, people are being marked there, people are being killed there, but not during our times. We used to look after that place. Besnama, what do you call them? I've just forgotten the name. Yeah, they used to drive around the cemetery. Today it's a dumping ground.
Okay.
Today people are having sex in our cemetery. Now, it saddens me when I look at children using habli-pabli. The habli-pabli you see there, whenever I see children smoking this habli-pabli, I take it and tell them to bring their parents along.
These kids now,
They tried some time ago, even the taxi guys, when I wanted to discipline somebody who was stopping just to give somebody some cigarette and changing money. And yet in the car here, there was somebody who was giving birth, about to give birth, and we were supposed to take that person to the clinic. Was supposed to go to the clinic. When I started talking to this guy, he wanted to fight me. And the very people in the taxi, they said, you do know this guy, do you know this man? They started hitting that taxi driver. I took his taxi and came and parked it here.
Sure.
And I said, tell the owner that he'll find it at my home. So there are so many things that I can relate to you. Things that happened during the days of when I was still young and when I was, in fact, I was so jealous about the elderly. If uthatha umrholo umuntu omdala uyotshontsha imali umuntu omdala walophiyo eholweni lapha faka induku. And then at the end, before we do that, uzoshawa bogogo. And as they wallop you, who would also wallop you and give you a baptismal certificate that you can go now.
Yeah.
Never again to this.
Okay.
Yeah, these are our senior citizens. We are who we are because of them.
Yes.
Now we had a granny. But they seem to be a forgotten generation. And I would be happy if I can pass on seeing land, seeing jobs, seeing their wishes coming through. Not what I see now.
Twala, you spoke about Utole cleaning contract from the government, and then you spoke about how it was taken away because you didn't toe the line. But you spoke about also how you buried so many people. So, Twala Africa and what are your other business interests for young people who are saying, hey, Babu Twala, he inspires me. I want to be like him.
I discovered that many people are dying. After I buried Umamu Rose Shabalala, I said, no, now that BOS was forcefully removed to Soweto, I then opened up my own, which was called Twala Africa. And though I still say I'm a bit unfortunate because when it comes to money, people go to other people. But when there are problems, they come to me. But I'm happy to say that I was also involved in fetching bodies from exile, those that died in exile. For instance, there's a paper here, somebody who died in exile. The last person that we fetched from Swaziland was Draha's brother. Yeah. So, though I was never paid, but when it comes to other undertakers, I won't name them. They get a lot of money. I did that because those are our comrades.
Okay.
We visited them when they were in exile. So it was my right for me to say, if we want to rebury them, to fetch them and be buried at home.
Okay.
That's how Twala Africa came into being. Though, again, it is still my wish. In Alexandra, we want to be job creators. Through SA Day, we want to make sure that we don't say we don't like people from outside, but let us learn. Mandela said, learn from the enemy. Yeah, don't just throw your hands away. Learn from them. Some of us have learned from our enemies, but now it's time to deliver. Instead of delivering, we are busy pushing each other down. We don't love each other. We are pulling each other down.
Sure.
And I'm saying this because if I was given that opportunity, we would have been having a museum at 7th Avenue at Mandela.
Yes.
We don't have because of all those problems. When I was trying to build a house for that lady through Habitat for Humanity, our own comrades went behind my back and said, you're sitting on millions. Twala is dreaming. And there are no millions up until now. But now, it's a pity you must visit me some other time.
I will.
So that I should give you, something bigger than what we're discussing now. But I'm happy to say, at long last, through SA Day, we have people who are prepared to come on board. Mzwanele Maiso, Dr. Shongwe, and all the others. They want to come on board to make sure that we don't forget our fallen heroes. I would like to see a scroll of honor, because next to my property, there's 2nd Avenue. That's where Vilankulu was killed. And the first person who was killed in Alexandra was Hlongwane. Sometimes people don't interpret things the right way. And I would like to give those people an honor by giving them a scroll of honor.
Yeah.
Their names should be there.
Yeah.
And we must make sure that, like I've tried my level best, some of them have got tombstones today. The last one that I have given a tombstone was a young chap from 6th Avenue. Sipo Mavimbela. I was so touched when the mother cried, saying that my child was killed in 1976, but he has never been honored. I said to her, I'm going to put her a tombstone, which I did. Yeah. Now, those are some of the things that we should be discussing in Alexandra. And there's so much to be done in Alex. I so wish we can get the children that I've helped to go and study overseas. Some are here, some have grown up, some are in business. I so wish I could call them into a meeting, like I've called Operation Tutula, when I wanted to advise them that instead of us chasing people who are selling tomatoes, let us think about the jobs that we are missing in Alex, because they are being taken over by other people. That is why I say we need another session of another meeting, so that I can be able to relate all these things. You know, in Alex, we can create jobs before you can go to something. It's only this COVID that disturbed us a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure by now we should have been witnessing lots and lots of changes. Now our problem, we're looking at the government as the Messiah that's going to deliver. No, we as the people
are the Messiahs. Yeah.
We are the ones that must deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead, they have been just chosen to steer the ship.
Okay.
Now, if the ship is derailing, it is us who must make sure that we bring it on track.
Okay, Mkhulu Twala, because of time, I just want to ask you manje, umsebenzi owenzayo, negama lesilungu lithi philanthropist, meaning which you are someone who uses maybe their resources, whether it can be time, money, networks, to give to the needy. So umsebenzi owenzayo, you spoke earlier on ukuthi you are celebrating 50 years of serving the community. What exactly do you do? What goods do you donate? Who do you serve? For some people abangazi ukuthi exactly umkhulu Twala uwenzani Alexandra.
It's a pity. I cannot. I need more time.
Yeah. You'll get it, definitely. Part 2.
We've got our senior citizens who are more than 90 years, 98 years. I'm trying to put up toilets in their houses. And we've got children who are disabled. I'm also trying to get Meals on Wheels. We used to have 7 or 8 cars. Because of the accident, I got a double fracture. I could no longer perform like I used to. But it is my wish that my daughter, because my sons would never even come nearer this thing. They said, your house was bombed by police and computers were stolen at your center, and yet it's a place where comrades used to meet. But I also usually console myself by saying I was born to serve, not to distract. Now, it is my wish today to see these young chaps taking over the baton from me, running with it.
Okay.
Making sure that people get, a decent housing, basic needs, the houses that you see. And again, if right now you found me, I was going out to go and fetch bread. I don't sleep well when somebody is hungry.
Sure.
I was even thinking that this year I should start drinking, because I see most men drinking liquor. Most men are spending, I'm spending sleepless nights when somebody's hungry. And yet there are guys who are just drinking, knowing what is happening. I so wish you can interview some of our children who live in shacks.
Sure.
If they can relate the way they sleep in their shacks. But I'll just quote one who was on radio saying they put chairs on top of the table.
Yeah.
And they sleep under the table. And when their father must have sex with their mother, when they see a little tent going up, the child would say, "Get tent dying you." What is that tent? The father would go down, and when it starts again, the child would say, "Get tent dying you, tent the landlord." We've got a long way to go. Because by the time you guys start making sure that you want what belongs to us. You're going to have it tough because to pull these children away from drugs, we should start with the drug lords. People who are coming into our area selling drugs to schools.
Exactly. Yeah, I've got you as my mentor there. So
I so wish I could be everywhere.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I can't.
Yeah.
But with the little knowledge that God has given me, I'm trying to impart it to other children.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we thank you for that,
and I'm so grateful to God that, as I said, I'm on my way out. I'm no longer well, but I still feel that I can still do more by making sure that out of these children, we get children who are going to fly aeroplanes.
Yeah.
We get children who are going to lead us in this country.
Engineers.
But who are not just going to be good in English.
Yeah.
And forgetting that there are sheikhs somewhere. I was not expecting that there can be sheikhs in our areas. And yet we say we are free.
Sure.
Yeah, and if not that I'm inciting people to build wherever they want to.
Yeah.
This is our country.
Yes.
If Mandela was saying, let us share the wealth of our country, he meant it.
Okay.
And Desmond Tutu was saying, let there be room for forgiveness. If I could forgive, I usually say, when they were interviewing me about the Queen of England, I talked about three things: the good, the bad, the ugly. And who am I to judge? If Mandela himself was in a stagecoach with the Queen of England, if Thabo Mbeki school there, Oliver Tambo was also in England. Now what we need to do is to lobby them back, to come and back to fix the wrongs of the past.
Okay. Nonyabuza mkhulu Twala. Yo, so much to talk about. Just last two questions mkhulu bese sayivala. I want to know from your perspective, indlela wonobona ngakhona. You spoke about how kids would not be found estradeni during school hours. Would you say, would you say that a black person's life, especially Alex, was better during apartheid rather than now? Because so the only thing, you had one common enemy. But today, it seems like it's opposite than what you were living back then. So would you say apartheid? Because people are saying, okay, at least there was respect, there was food and that.
Because
so you're saying it was better?
I said earlier to you, you would never say, no, you'd write a letter and say,
yes,
if wishes were horses, how sooner would I come to you? And then you'd sell milk in the evening, buying a chain, giving to that lady.
Yeah.
She'll decide if she loves you or not.
Yeah.
And then Masilo,
sure,
I used to be good in boxing.
Yeah.
But I know that if the girl is mine, those years.
Yeah.
Now these days, our children, in fact, I blame the, shall I say white snow? I blame ourselves because if we had not departed from all the things that we did, the discipline, I don't think we should have been where we are today.
Okay, so impilo yayingcono for umuntu omnyama back then what? Okay, siyabonga mkhulu Linda Twala. So much has been said. Ngizwa kuthiwa mkhulu, they are building Twala Towers khona la second in honor of you, and also we have things like a Alexandra renewal project as well. You're saying you want to build houses. So uzizwa njani mkhulu ngalezo zinto lezo, all those projects being done in honor of you?
Well, if it's in honor of me, it's in honor of God.
Okay.
He's the one who does things for me. I'm only a servant to the people of Alexandra. I was born to serve, not to distract. Right now, this past Saturday, I was also given an award.
Okay.
The Oebonala move.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is why I'm saying kumnandi kwesinye isikhathi when you're being honored when you're still alive.
Okay.
And like mawuzoqanja istrati kuthiwe istrati sibizwe ngosibanibani engasekho kodwa lesikhathi esaphila nobody cared. But now I've been getting honors naphesheya kwezilwandle. But into engijabulisa mayithola kuphuma kubantu bakithi, that makes me more happy. Like for instance this one ibhalwe mitiro yabulabula.
Okay.
I love it.
Imsebenzi yakhuluma.
Yeah, imsebenzi yakhuluma. Yeah, from abomakhubela.
Okay.
I love this.
Wow.
Because ibuya kubantu bakithi, but kukhona ama-awards ebengazi ukuthi asho ukuthini engathola amaningi.
Okay, there's so many of them. Okay.
And this legacy award ziningi nje ezinye zitholela emakhabetheni.
Sigcwele mkhulu.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mina ngijabulela nje engijabulela kakhulu engile yabogogo.
Okay.
When I was honored by our own senior citizens. Because I can give you anything yokugqoka. Noma ngithole America noma ngithole, but I can never give you what I was given by our senior citizens when my house was bombed by police.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay, no mkhulu Twala, siyabonga kakhulu mkhulu umsebenzi yakho. We thank you for your time mkhulu. Siyabonga iservice oyenzela umphakathi. Thank you for giving us history. Yeah, Alex, and yeah, may God continue to keep you and bless you ngoba sisakudinga mkhulu, especially us the youth. We still need that wisdom. We still need those life lessons. And thank you so much for your time, Mkhulu Linda Twala.
And I pelelanga ngicela ukulethe igenge entsha la sihlale nayo.
Okay, Mkhulu.
Yeah, let's part the little knowledge sense show ukuthi abantwana bethu bafunda izinto esasizenza kuqala. Let's go back to our roots.
Thank you so much, Mkhulu Twala. 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 Thank you so much, Mkhulu Twala.